Yu and a fifth speaker of the opposition team. Our team stands firm that cloning should be allowed. As we enter the 21st century, due to rapid development of the humankind, we face many difficulties, hence pushing us forward to pursue speedy progression in sciences and technology to sustain our existence on Earth. New technologies are revealed each year, but not all are accepted with open arms. One of such is cloning. Cloning is a technology that can produce one or more offspring from origin, such that the offspring and the origin have the same genetic information. In layman terms, cloning works like a photocopier. There are many benefits of cloning. For example, reproductive cloning, as mentioned by our first speaker, Dominic. Reproductive cloning can be useful, for example, to solve our food crisis problem. Choice plants and animals are selected to be cloned so that the qualities of the food we eat are remain constant. Why waste time to let fate decide whether a fruit will be too sour, too bland, or too sweet? Cloning the ideal fruit, for this case, the perfect apple, will ensure that every apple from this farm is sweet. In case there isn't a perfect fruit out there, we can always pair cloning with genetic modification. In this case, genetically modifying the fruit to ensure that apple is red, sweet, and seedless before cloning can make our lives better, just like quality control in the factory before mass production. Reproductive cloning can also prevent extinction by repopulation. It is under the principle of double effect that cloning provides us humans with enough food while we replenish the food stock through cloning, a win-win solution. There's also therapeutic cloning, as mentioned by our fourth speaker, Grace. Therapeutic cloning is a technology whereby stem cells will be grown into a piece of tissue or organ for transplant. This technology is useful for those who are in need of organ or tissue transplant and could not find a suitable donor. Organ donors are selected through specific criteria and guidelines before they can donate their organs. This makes the organ donation a long process, and due to limited supply, organ recipients may not live to the day of the organ transplant. Hence, therapeutic cloning will be useful as the resultant organ or tissue will be genetically identical to the recipient, cutting down the time spent on organ transplant. Cloning can also be used as IVF, known as in vitro fertilization. The egg cell from the female will be fertilized by the sperm cell from the male outside the body. The fertilized egg will then be planted back into a female's uterus. This technology is safe and relatively successful, and the child born will be genetically linked to his parents as opposed of a child from adoption. Critics of cloning like to compare cloning to killing the human embryo to obtain the stem cells required for cloning. While stem cells are obtained from embryo, they can also be obtained from the umbilical cord or bone marrow. The latter two will not be termed inhumane, as the cells are just living cells from the body. Hence, it will be unfair to identify cloning to killing, as there are many methods to obtain stem cells. There's also much debate of the treatment of the clone in society. This organism, such as sheep dolly, may draw attention from curious onlookers, but I doubt cloning of a complete human being will be done. Not only will it be problematic, but redundant. Will you replace your fridge just because the light bulb is fused? Obviously not. You only need to replace the light bulb for the fridge to be fully working again. Similarly, it would be silly to clone a full human being just because there's a need for an organ. Just cloning a single organ will be sufficient. Cloning has side effects. I agree to this point too. However, we need to take the first step in order to have a deeper understanding of the subject. With more research and tests, the side effects of cloning will be able to be minimized. Hence, cloning is a very interesting and useful technology and should not be banned. Banning it will be to hinder the development of humankind. Thank you.